Welcome back to a brand new episode of Charm City Beat. We have moved on from London. We are now back in the States in home. It is Terrell Suggs weekend. Um, let's talk about it. The Detroit Lions. Who would have had them at 5-1 last year?
Mm-mm.
Unreal.
This is, I think it's a great measuring stick of all measuring sticks. And the fact that it's Terrell Suggs in the house means the defense needs to show up. And I
Mm,
saw an interesting stat. They've yet to face a team that's ranked in the top 10 in points scored or yards gained. And so this is going to be the true test for the number two defense in the NFL. That is the Baltimore Ravens. At home, Terrell Suggs. We'll see what happens.
oh, gross.
Yeah, can't believe it's only the third home game. We have gone for over almost a month now, which included a transatlantic trip across the sea. But no, yeah, instead, like someone else pointed out that this year the Ravens have played a rookie quarterback in his first game,
Mm-hmm.
a Joe Burrow with a calf injury, a Gardner Minshew, which I mean then a rookie quarterback who's like, oh hey, by the way, you're starting today. And then who did we just play?
Yeah.
Tannehill,
Yeah,
an afterthought on a running offense.
Tannehill. And then halfway, and then at one point we were going against Malik Willis.
Yeah.
So
When did that happen?
we got a Jared Goff, who's the Jared Goff that the Rams thought they drafted with the first pick. And remember last year the 5-1 Lions. I think if I remember, a lot of their games were one score games last year.
That's true.
Just little nudge here, nudge here, and
Mm-hmm.
whatever Dan Campbell's doing there now, he's figured out.
It's working.
Yeah,
Definitely working. I mean, they knocked off Kansas City week one. Who saw that coming?
I actually picked them to win only because Kelsey was hurt,
Yeah.
and I think their defensive player was hurt. But I think it did
Jones
show the
isn't
world
playing.
the Lions can go into Kansas City, which means they can go into any ballpark and win a football game that's meaningful. And I think it did a lot of things for the Lions, and that the biggest thing is confidence. I
Yeah,
think that we're going to be seeing a very confident football team, and the Ravens are coming in, and are they jet lagged? We're going to find out. Or
Yeah.
it's going to be an interesting football game. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean,
I'm Jordan with house. I also picked the Lions in that game because, like I said, Kelsey was out. Jones was like, I ain't playing right now. You ain't paying me yet. And then also it didn't help that Tony just like, I don't want to catch the ball this week. But just the fact that even then they still beat them in Kansas City,
yeah.
then opening the first game. So that's it. That confidence definitely is taken off, and I feel a little more confident now that a certain quarterback isn't in Green Bay anymore either. So they're
I was about to say that somebody had to come out of that division on top, and I mean, it makes sense that it would be the Lions, veteran quarterback, very complete team. That defense is good. The defense is really good. Um, yeah, just I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I do wonder. I mean, again, we have the number two defense. Speaking of which, who's playing this weekend, Ross? What's our injury report?
well, relatively just healthy again. Clowney, he was full today.
Good.
His rest/knee. Darby didn't participate. He had an illness, so that's nothing. Malik Harris was full today. Owe was full today.
Oh,
Not the front.
wow, that's a change.
That was from limited from yesterday. Keon Seymour is the only one who has not participated in the past 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Brent Urban is limited today. And also Marcus Williams did not participate the past 2 days with a hamstring. So,
I don't think he's going to practice the rest of the year. I think he's just going to
Yeah.
play on Sundays, and
well,
that'll be
I
that.
mean, the problem is this one's his hamstring. So
Yeah.
those are always tricky. And the one interesting one who made interesting comments were made about was Bowser.
Hmm.
Harbaugh goes and says, I don't know, I'll let him talk about it. Basically, like, wait a minute, last time you said that it was kind of with Stanley, who was like, I don't know if he's going to play. But then Bowser comes on and says, I'm feeling great. I don't know. So,
scared me,
Who knows
Ross.
what's going on there?
Like, I didn't know where you were going with that. Whew.
I was like, what? Damn it,
Well,
you're
just
breaking news.
Harbaugh basically kind of came out and said, "Oh, I'll let Bowser talk about it." Kind of looks like, "Is there something you did? What's happening?"
Yeah,
But then Bowser's over there like,
I
"I
feel
feel
great.
good."
He's ready.
I
Let's
mean, he still
go.
hasn't been activated. He hasn't. So
It sounds like the offense is healthy, knock on wood. And I'm excited. I think they're going to play some football on Sunday to outscore the Lions. As good as the Ravens defense has been and probably will be in this game, I think we're going to have to put at least 25, 30 points on the board, probably to beat the Lions.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, if the offense doesn't show up, this is a team that can get away from you. They're 5-1 for a reason. We're not, I mean, again, like you said, this is a top tier team that we're playing this weekend. Yeah, offense has to show up. Everybody has to be ready to catch. Again, I think it's going to help being home finally. I mean, that road schedule, that's a tough, there's some mileage there. There's a lot of mileage on that early half of the schedule. So, I think them being at home is going to definitely help 100%.
I also believe the weather will be finally not raining at home for a home game. It's right now it's a Saturday. They're calling for 61 degrees. Partly cloudy skies, a little windy, 15 to 25-mile-per-hour winds, but dry. Finally,
And that was Ross Roberts with the weather.
the
Thank you.
last two home games, it was wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lamar needs to ball out. I think we've yet to kind of see him have a complete football game. And I think you kind of have to have that in this game. But I think Flowers is coming off his best game of his career, I want to say. Mark Andrews was quiet against Tennessee, so I think he might bounce back in a big way.
Yeah.
And hopefully the other guys sort of contribute. I think the Lions are a little vulnerable, especially against the run, so we're going to see.
Yeah. Does Odell Beckham have more than 2 catches? Or is this the Zay Flowers show?
Like I said, what Odell is doing is hard to judge because it's not so much his catches. I mean, he's had pass interference calls for him. Now, granted, it was a little different, but he had the unnecessary roughness call that he got last week. And then apparently he almost fought him after the game.
Yeah.
But so, like I said, we're getting out of Odell roughly what kind of we expected. We maybe thought more
I expected
production.
more for $19 million.
I understand that, but he's
Let's
also
say.
been an injured player. I mean,
Sounds like
But
Tim
what
Brown.
I think ultimately, I don't care what Odell cost. I think that's what the price was to get Lamar Jackson back in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Personally, I do think he's gonna have a big game or two eventually. I
Mm-hmm.
do wonder how much the score has dictated his use early in games, and then they just, I don't know, he got hurt in all these football
well,
games. He just doesn't make it through
they've
the
been.
game.
It's basically been Flowers, almost Aguilar, and then a rotation between Bateman and Odell.
With a little
That's
bit of
not the
Andrews.
rotation we thought we were going to get. We thought it was going to be Odell, Bateman, Flowers, Aguilar mixing there somewhere. But they're definitely limiting both of their snaps as of now, with both coming off injuries still.
That's
I
true.
will say we faced the Bengals defense, the Browns defense, the Steelers defense. The Titans aren't bad on defense. Neither is Houston. We're 4-2 with three road wins, two,
Mm-hmm.
3 and 1 on the road. Like for all of the offensive pitfalls, I think for the most part we haven't played horribly. I mean, a few
We
bad throws,
win. We win.
you could argue. And so I'm curious. I mean, I would love to see them take that next step. Because I think now they've got to with teams like the Lions and the 49ers
Mm-hmm.
and the Chargers and the Bengals again and the Dolphins coming up. I think they've got to figure out, find that next level.
I need to know how to play a complete game. Foot
Yeah.
on the pedal from kickoff to last kneel down.
Yeah. I think this is one of the cases where we know the Ravens play down to opponents. We really need to play up. Yeah, full cylinders going here.
I I, I, I hope it's not a case. Well, typical Ravens fashion. We're going to win this game, and then we're going to go and lose to Arizona.
That is the craziest shit ever. Shut up.
That's just what we do. I didn't even say it. Someone else brought that up.
Oh, really?
I saw that somewhere else.
Oh, God.
I was like, oh, God, he's kind of right. That's the stupid crap we do. Because, like we said, we played to our opponents, which benefits us when they're a good team. But I don't know why we can't do that against the bad team. Play the good team style.
Yeah, not to get too ahead of ourselves, but yeah, no, I don't. We're not gonna talk about that yet. We're not gonna get too ahead of ourselves. Division, still sitting at top of the AFC North right now, 4-2. Steelers had a bye last week to 3-2. Browns 3-2 after beating the 49ers on a probably some might call it fluke, whatever. Any given Sunday, the Bengals sitting at 3-3. Again, division still wide open. It's still must win. This is just the AFC North way. It's very tight. It's going to probably be this way straight to January.
What was this?
Yeah, I think the Ravens definitely squandered an opportunity to run away with the division by losing the games they lost and the way they lost, considering they were winning all those games handedly late. And it's going to come out to bite them because they let teams like the Steelers back into the race, and the Bengals are somehow back in the race after starting 1-2 or 0-3, or whatever they were. Like,
it's crazy.
I don't. It's going to be a rough road because the Browns have a relatively easy schedule now. So I'm curious how this goes, and Watson's getting healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We easily could have been, should have been 5-0, 3-0 in the division, 3 road wins in the division, and sitting there ready with them coming there with wiggle room in that. But again, we're sitting at 2-1. The Steelers are 2-0. And
I will say though that um, 17 make the playoffs, I think.
Yeah.
As long as they're able to make the dance, I think they'll play. They tend to play really well in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe not the Titans game, but they tend. I don't know. Last year, anyway, they played really well, and I think that this team with that defense and Roquan Smith, I think it's just. I just want to see them playing well towards the end of the year and whatever it takes to get there.
Yeah, I definitely think our defense is definitely, I mean, I hope for our whole team, but definitely our defense is built for that. Again, we're sitting here knowing Marcus Williams may not play. I'm not even stressed about it because we got Geno Stone. Like, you know, Owa's healthy again, it seems like. Again, this point in the season, I'm used to reading a, injury list that's about 12 players deep easily.
Yeah,
This one, I think, like Ross said, every player except for one or two, practice.
just 2. Marcus and Keon Seymour.
You don't want to see somebody get injured, but that's amazing to me. Knowing the Ravens, that's amazing. Yeah, no, I definitely think we're built for the deep end of the season, though. Any last words, though, Jordan?
you guys are going to the game. I'm super jealous about it. Terrell Suggs going into the Ring of Honor, putting a nice cap on what was an incredible career, probably a Hall of Fame career in a few years. And I think he's going to get that crowd pumped up. The Ravens, by the way, are the only, I think, one of 2 teams in the NFL that have scored on their first drive every game, I think. So they will start fast, I'm hoping, in this game.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to find a way to start fast in the second half.
Yeah.
No, I have a feeling Mike McDonald's going to do what he does against Joe Burrow because they know what they like. They're just going to soft coverage, keep everything in front of him. Don't let Ahmad St. Brown go off on you. Their running back situation is interesting. Montgomery might not play. Gibbs is just starting to practice again. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Big weekend again. Terrell Suggs back in town. 2 Super Bowl rings for that guy. One in Ravens. He got us one. Oh, yeah. No, did he? Yes, of course he did. Him and in Kansas City. Shit, I forgot. Had a brain fart. But yeah, no, it's gonna be great. Legend. Yeah, that does it though. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will have coverage and recap coming later this week, next week, that is. Yeah, go Ravens.